All right, do you ever wonder where your ancestors are from? Do you know how far back your family goes? And what if you're related to George Washington and you never knew it?
It could happen. You can easily find out with a simple DNA test. There are questions that CBS 19's Jacqueline Sarkeesian wanted to find answers to, and she joins us in the studio tonight with more on what's in my genes.
DNA can tell us all kinds of things. It's what makes you unique. It represents a deep connection to your family, your shared history, identity, and health. I thought it would be fun to do a DNA test on Texas Senator-elect Bryan Hughes and see just how much he knows about himself and his heritage.
I've had some relatives who've done some research, again, as far back as the War for Independence.
Bryan Hughes was the perfect candidate for DNA testing. He says his family has been in Texas for a number of generations, but he doesn't know much beyond that.
I think if we go further back, I understand it's English and Irish, but I'm not sure. I've never carefully researched it.
Hughes was a good sport when I told him that I wanted to perform the test. The test will analyze if he is a carrier to certain diseases, what physical and biological traits he has, and of course, his ancestry.
Well, when you described it to me, it sounded interesting, and it kind of got my attention. So yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the ancestry, so it'll be neat to see.
But when I said he had to spit in this tube to do the test, that's when things got a little awkward.
Okay.
And that's all it is.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So
I think I can do that.
Turn away from the
Okay.
camera if you want.
After we collected his saliva, I sealed the test tube up, put it back in the box, and shipped it to the lab. I received the results 2 months later, but needed a professional to help make sense of it all. That's when Dr. David Cox, a disease microbiologist and professor at Tyler Junior College, comes into play. He's been studying genetics for more than 25 years and stresses how important it is for everyone to know what they're made of.
You need to be aware of that because even though you may have the genes, they may not be expressed. And what you do with your lifestyle and your environment may either keep those genes suppressed or that may allow them to be expressed. And if they're a disease-linked gene, that could be really disastrous.
Dr. Cox shows me that based on the results, Hughes is 99.9% European, Northwestern European to be exact, and he's Neanderthal. On average, people have about 2.5% Neanderthal DNA, but there are some people who carry significantly more than that, like Hughes.
We all have some, especially Northwestern Europeans, tend to have a little bit higher percentage of Neanderthals because they really originated in Germany back thousands of years ago.
Here are some other findings. Hughes is likely to move more during sleep, not develop a lactose intolerance, consume more caffeine than most, and likely to experience some hair loss as he ages. So I can go back to him and tell him.
Yeah, he looks very healthy. I mean, he doesn't seem to have any of these 36 specific genes that they look for that could be disease carrier states.
Overall, Hughes seems to be in tip-top shape, both now and in the future, which is music to his ears.
I really didn't know this kind of information was available until this came along and the story you were doing. So it's really interesting. And so, yes, I'm relieved. I didn't really know what to expect, but it sounds like it could have been a lot worse.
Luckily for Hughes, he's not predisposed to any serious diseases like sickle cell anemia, cystic fibrosis, or muscular dystrophy. But even though he's in good shape, Dr. Cox says if a DNA test shows you're at risk to any diseases, you should go see a physician just to get checked out, especially if you start showing signs. Starting treatment earlier rather than later could potentially be life-saving. These DNA tests are pretty accurate, but not 100%, so it's always smart to check with your doctor. Jacqueline Sarkeesian, CBS 19.
So he's not related to George Washington.
Well, Senator-elect Hughes is a good sport. I got to say that for him.